Hey, what's up everybody? Michael here with a little bit of a different show for you today. We're going to do a little bit of a roundtable where we talk about what's going on up here in the front office, coming out of Daytona, leading into Indy, and just anything else that really comes to our mind. So, with us today I have Jeremy Lange, our VP of Marketing, Kayla Musser, who's our Director of Business Development, and Todd Rauch, our sponsorship coordinator / intern. So guys, what's been going on?
I think Daytona was a great opportunity for us to showcase what we're doing, how we're growing as a team. I think it was fun to see us take a top 10, 7th place, and avoid the two big ones, come home with a clean car. It's led to a lot of exposure, a lot of buzz around the sport. We've had Michael McDowell on a bunch of interviews this week, as well as Bob Leavine on a bunch of interviews. So all in all, very productive weekend.
Yeah, I definitely think it was great too, being down there and just the excitement. It's actually my first time down in Daytona, and it was just a blast, just being at the track. I don't know for whoever watched qualifying, we actually led the pole, and then I'm sure you guys watched the race as well. Did very well with a top 10 finish with the race. So that was very exciting.
A little wet for you guys, though, right?
Oh, I was drenched for about 48 hours straight.
Yeah, it was brutal, man.
I chose the right race to miss.
Yeah. So what was some of the cool things about being at your first Daytona race? Like, what were some of the things you noticed?
I mean, I was just struck by how big the track was. You know, you stand on top of the hauler, you can't even see around the entire track. You know, it was really really neat experience. I remember we pulled in, and the first thing we did when we were unloading the truck was drop Tim, our engine guy, off so we could go fish in the middle of the track. Apparently, they have a lake in the middle of the track.
Lake Lloyd.
Yeah, so it was a great first trip, especially with that finish too. I mean, Michael did such a great job with the wrecks and stuff to pull.
I said that was amazing between Michael and Dave, how he missed both of those big wrecks, because we could have been right in the middle of them. So.
Yeah, I think the cool part about it is Dave being his first race as our spotter, had worked with McDowell in the past, but I think Dave being there and replacing Josh, who went on to JTG with AJ, it's great for Josh, but also good to have Dave on top of the track watching out for Michael.
Yeah, but he's going to fit in well with the guys.
Yeah, it showed that they had some good synergy, and I think the combo of him, Michael, and Wally will pay dividends off in the future for our team. Todd, so you weren't at the race. You were
unfortunately not.
You were down in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Sweating and serving our country, so we thank you for that.
Yeah. I wish I could have been there. Daytona is always a great spot to go, just for the culture, experience any kind of race. Daytona is obviously going to be at the top of anybody's list.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
coming out of Daytona, it's ironic that our next race goes to also probably another mecca of a track in Indy Motor Speedway. It's last year we didn't qualify. We attempted to qualify for the race and missed the race, but this year we're excited after our last two finishes with a 24th in Sonoma and a 7th place in Daytona that will lead to Indy for good things, and I think it'll be a overall positive weekend. We'll have Caleb on the car that weekend. It's good stuff. It'll be their 3rd race of the year with us, and they've been a great partner, and we look forward to that good weekend. It's ironic for us that we're coming out of Daytona, which is a big track, to Indy, another big track, and hopefully we can have similar results.
Say, as a guy who gets to go to all the races, I mean, it's so cool to get to go to those too, because, as a fan 5 years ago, those were my favorite races to watch because of the tradition and the motorsports and everything. And I actually got to go to Indy 2 years ago when we did make the race, and just the tradition of walking from the garage, you just feel all that history as you're walking. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was wanting to say about Indianapolis in general, it goes beyond just the sport of NASCAR. Being any kind of motorsports fan, even if you're a lighthearted motorsports fan, Indianapolis in general is just a big track.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully that success that we had at Daytona will transition. Big things can come, not just within the NASCAR industry and world, but if you place well, being a smaller team at a track like Indianapolis during the Brickyard, that can really translate, I think, into a lot more spotlight on you.
Yeah, you saw that this past weekend. Even though we know anything can happen in Daytona, and we were able to avoid the 2 big accidents, it definitely led to some good exposure for us, and it's led to more positive conversations leading for the end of this year as well as the next year. And it's excitement. It's you know, the cool part about it is from the team side and from the front office is the excitement the guys in the back get and the crew guys just around the overall morale that it builds from having a top 10 finish. And it's been, you know, it's a lot of press for us in the fact that it's been our best finish as a race team as well as McDowell's best finish as a race car driver. So it was a win-win for both parties.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I saw one thing about
yet.
earlier about Eric Amarola. Does the rain diminish that win that he had? I mean, a rain-shortened win. A win is a win in my book.
No, win's a win.
And it's just as hard. Congratulations to Eric and RPM. I mean, and they got a shot with Watkins Glen coming up with Marcus Ambrose. I mean, that's a good opportunity for them to get both cars in the chase, which would be great for them, and Ford Racing.
I say it's just it's difficult to be out front in any race. Yeah. So I don't think, you know, at any point. So I don't think, you know, oh, he was out front at lap 112 and not lap 160. I don't think that makes a difference. I mean, it's so hard to get up there anyway.
Yeah.
That, you know, in this sport, luck is a lot of how you win.
It's ironic too because you talk a lot about, we go back to Daytona and finishing 7th. You know, Wally and Michael and Bob were all disappointed in the sense that we weren't going back to green, but at the same time, going back to green would have been a chance for us to move to the front, but it easily could have been finishing 25th on our roof. So it's like, I'll gladly take 7th, knowing you have a 7th place in the bag, and I think Eric feels the same way, and a win's a win.
Exactly.
Because, you know, with less cars, it's only going to get crazier from there because everybody realizes they have a shot.
And with more rain potentially happening, everyone's going to make a move.
Right.
So, I mean, there's opportunity from going from 1st to 25th and wrecking, wadding up a car.
Yeah. It's fun to see a lot of drivers you're usually not used to seeing run in the top 10, top 5. It was fun watching those guys up there compete for a win.
Yeah, I mean, during the race you had Landon Castle and Reed Sorensen going 1-2 for a while, and they led more laps in that race than they led the entire year, which I think is a stat I saw. And it's nice to see the 43 back at Victory Lane, I think, for a long time. It was amazing. The stat that blew my mind the most about that race is, I believe before that win, Richard Petty had the 43 car had 10 wins at Daytona International Speedway, and with one driver. So Eric Amarola is the second driver to win in the 43 car there, and the other cars have had 14 multiple wins with multiple drivers. So it's, I think, an impressive stat.
Something like 30 years since the last win there for the 43 or something. I saw something about
it was the 30th anniversary of his 20th 200th win.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
is that right now?
1984.
Yeah, 1984.
We're off a few weeks and running a race, and we have Indy coming up. We have Watkins Glen. Atlanta, Chicago. We got a bunch of races still left this year, and I think we'll make some good headway and make some good progress. And looking towards 2015, like I said earlier, a lot of good conversations, a lot to be excited about. So even though we're not racing this upcoming weekend, we still have a lot to be excited about and a lot to do. Just because we don't race every Sunday doesn't mean that we don't have a lot going on at the shop, in the front office and the back office. The guys are getting the Indy cars ready this weekend. They're looking towards, they're doing the body on the road course car and hanging the body there, and they'll paint that car this week. We'll wrap it in the next 2 weeks for Watkins Glen with Caleb on that car as well. And, it's partners like Caleb and JPO and those companies that allow us to do what we love to do. And it's exciting to have them in the family. It's exciting to be, in NASCAR. And I think there's a lot of positive momentum going on with us.
Oh, by the way, talking about wrapping the cars, if you haven't checked it out, check the video that we did about the car wrap, the time lapse of the car wrap. I thought that was a really cool video.
Yeah, that's up. That's another new series we're starting called Behind the Scenes, and we're trying to find some cool stuff around the shop we think people would want to see. We've got a couple more ideas we're gonna film here in the next couple weeks and get up there. It's just be kind of spontaneous. I don't really have a set schedule. Just as we see something coming up in the builds that we think would be interesting, we'll film it.
That was an interesting choice of music too, I must say.
I mean, we want to have fun with it. That's
like circus music.
It's Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin, was it?
But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those deals that we like to have fun with the projects we do. So cool. I thought it was kind of something fun.
Speaking of music, kind of off topic here. So as doing business development, I make a lot of phone calls to people that won't necessarily want to talk to me.
Or
yeah, exactly. And I made a call to a company down in Florida a few weeks ago, and as I was on hold, I don't know why I just thought about this. You usually have like a piano, Beethoven or something that's on hold music, but it was Pitbull. Pitbull was on hold music. I'm like, wait a minute. I literally had to hang up.
Were you calling an energy drink or something?
No, it was like it was some sort of, I can't remember what it was. I think it was a financial company. I was only in Florida, right?
Well, he's the prodigal son.
They were in Miami, right?
It was in Miami.
The prodigal son of Florida.
You called a club by accident.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I digress, but it just made me think about
that's
that.
Funny. I think we'll continue these conversations. I think this was good first conversation here. I think we'll continue these, and we ask that you send us questions or comments that you have via Twitter or YouTube, and we'll try and answer them next time.
I said we got one question came in. Person on Twitter wants to know how each of us got our start in racing. So you want to lead off with that, being the veteran here?
Yeah, long time ago, graduate business school, came out of working for a startup company in the sport. Was trying to launch at the time, Nextel Cup race team owned by the fans, and it was an exciting concept. Unfortunately, didn't work. I think there's still merit there, but I've been in the sport. That was 2005. I've been in the sport since, in and out on the sponsor side, agency side, now the team side. So it's really been covered all the aspects of the business, and it's fun to be on the team side because you see the ups and downs, and you try and you're putting a good product on the track, and it's important to do, and it's a lot more control being on the team side than you do on the sponsor side or the agency side.
I guess I'll be next. I got into racing about 4 years ago now. Was running SCCA races in Star Mazda open wheel car, just doing road course stuff. Thought it was a lot of fun to drive, and during that off season met David Starr, who got me a ride in a late model down in Houston, and that's where I started running ovals in the NASCAR series. Ran late models for about half a year and moved up to ARCA. Ran about 10 races there and a handful more late model when I got back up here to North Carolina. And then middle of 2013, I moved to the front office to start helping you with some of the marketing and administration pieces. So cool. That's kind of how I got my start.
My background, I was fortunate enough to start working for a marketing firm in college. I started doing business development for them. Right out of college, I kind of cut my teeth selling copiers and printers for a while. Which
a little bit of a transition.
Yeah, a little bit. But then went and from there got a directing biz dev for another agency, and then for whatever reason, I guess I was able to sell myself pretty good to Jeremy. So here I am now. So
glad to have you.
Yeah.
Well, I've been a NASCAR fan my entire life, I guess. That was me and my pops, my dad. That was our thing. That was pretty one of the big things that we shared in common was races. So I've been going to races, been a fan of the sport my entire life. I never really thought about getting involved into making a career out of NASCAR until I got to college for the second time. I go to Belmont Abbey College. It's a local school here in North Carolina, and we actually have a motorsports management program. It's a 4-year program to basically caters specifically for the motorsports industry, but specifically towards NASCAR geographically because where we're at. So I was able to get an internship with the team through my school, and that basically led me here. And I kind of think hopefully I found a home here because I love this place and I love this team, and it's a great organization which I think is going places. So that's my story. And
sticking to it, huh?
Yeah, sticking to it for a long time.
Anything else on there, or are we done?
No, that's all we got. So, like I said, if you have any questions for us, shoot them to us on Twitter, and we'll kind of compile them. And next time we do one of these, we'll answer them here on the set. So, guess that's all we got. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Take her easy.